Start in a second here. Good, it's good, pretty good. I'm just looking at the SEO right now. It looks like we're not ranking on anything, so gonna be a low turnout. Tried some new titles here. See if anything would change my rankings. Just kind of tweaking things as we go, you know, trying to figure out how to get to rank good on this. There's a guy with a picture of a rock that's ranking higher than me right now in crypto. That's exceptional. Love that. Alright, well, let's get started anyway. Who cares? Let's get these charts going. Yeah. Alright, let's get the vibes, dude. Okay.
Samurai sword on my back.
So I keep getting copyright strikes on YouTube because I've been playing like a playlist. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm playing YouTube's free music, so I won't get copyright strikes. It's gonna be great. So we'll see what we get with that. No promises. Put this little gif here first.
Stop.
It's great. I'll leave a link in the Discord or in the chat about the Discord here. Join up on the Discord if you're not on there already. Great little chat. Got a couple people talking about crypto pretty much all day. If I can figure out how to invite you, I will. Give me 1 second. Never. No limit. Generate and copy. And let's paste this over here. Kind of like it. Some good jams here. Show you a little bit of a look at her dance to it. Oh, the chat box is working today. Great. I like that. So we're gonna put that right here on the screen. Do. Alright, those ones aren't as fun. Alright, let's get into it. Woo! Alright, when Gil turns up, let me know, Gil. I got a song I want to put on for you that I saw on this playlist here. Sounds like a Command and Conquer song. So we're gonna start off with Bitcoin today, obviously. And what are we looking at? So the big news of the day is Bitcoin's pulling back. And what I really wanted to look at with that is I wanted to see which coins were holding steady, even though Bitcoin's doing a significant pullback. I don't think this pullback is anything to worry about. I think it's to be expected with everything that just happened. You know, like I was mentioning yesterday, if you were here, this is a really big green candle. Oops. I'm not gonna stop, dude. Woo. Alright, so we're gonna do a fib here from the bottom to the top, and we're gonna take a little look-ski-poo. Let me know if this music is too loud. It's at a good level for me, but if it's too loud, let me know. Take a look at it. I don't want to stop, you know? Alright, so what are we looking at with this fib retracement? So we pumped up and we've only retested the 382 level. So, you know, immediately after we hit the 50%, but that's still not even the full pump. So I would say that we might still have a little backtracking left to go before we head up higher. I'm gonna put this on the candle close, see if anything lines up a little better. We're really close here. Really, really close. What happened to the music? Jesus, this is terrible. Terrible playlist. Okay, anyways, so what I was going to say with this is we are below the EMAs. The EMAs crossed, but we are still above the 200-day EMA, which is good, but not great. Would have liked to see a strong pullback to 618, and then it would have for sure went vertical, but we got what we got, and I would imagine we're gonna have a little bit of a sideways action, a little bit of playing around before we head up higher. So we're still on the path to 50,000, but it's just a little bit of a rocky road right now, and we might need to see something like this play out where we get a nice big bull action and then a break above. So we'll keep our eye on it, see what happens. Watching for the SEO. We got a couple more viewers tuning in. I also advertised it a little more, so we'll see what happens. Hoping we get more turnout. Even though yesterday was pretty fun, we only had a couple people in here. So if you're in the chat, say what up, let me know. You can also request some coins and we'll take a look at them. I have a list of coins that I wanted to look at. I took a picture of it today. Let me just pull that picture up. So we were really looking into finding things that have not really pumped yet, because a lot of the market, like everything on Coinbase, is already astronomically high compared to the all-time highs. So what we wanted to find was these pre-pumpers and see if we could find anything that is about to pop before it pops, you know. So we were watching NEM XEM, and this also has a airdrop coming up. So there's the chart. So we're gonna see some volume incoming on this, and we're gonna see some positive price action. I almost guarantee it. You always see that with an airdrop. The problem is after the airdrop, it usually sells off pretty steep. So we're going to zoom out, and the reason we like this one is because look at all this room potentially to the upside. So all-time high of $2.11, and we're down in the, what are we at, 39 cents, 40-cent range, and this is looking great. I really, you know, we were skeptical at this one at first. We had a little bit of a bullish divergence here, and we were seeing that it was making a good mini cup and handle, and dog's going crazy in the background. It's all right. So we had a good bull. You know, I like these bull shapes. When you see them, if it's starting to round out, you can almost guarantee it's going to continue on higher. So this is a real good pattern coming out of here. What we were looking at yesterday is just the continuation, and it looks like it's just going higher. So I did not put a bet on this one, but I'm kind of regretting doing it. We're looking at it playing this level, then do a retest and breakout. I want to zoom into 30 and scroll. Look at this. This is great. So we were looking at this trend line here. Couple big, strong wicks down. This was a pretty strong trend line, and it respected it a couple times here. So, I mean, you got a couple outliers. These are big wicks where someone probably just had a bunch of coins they were sitting on and just said, sell it all, take what I can get. And this is buffering. Okay, cool. So let me know if you're still here. I think we're having a little bit of internet issues. If not, let me know in the chat, and we'll keep on keeping on. I'm gonna keep on keeping on either way. But here's what we're looking at right now. So we're close in on the 30-minute chart, and I'm gonna draw a little line right here. This is our new resistance becoming support. You can see it retested there. Look at where this candle lined up. You can take that. Yeah. So this was our previous resistance, and now it's becoming support. This candle touched it. This one broke below it, but that's okay. Yeah, you can have that. Take it. It's all you. Broke below it, but that's okay. You know, we got one little break below it. That's all right. I don't mind that. So you had a big wick down here, or a big candle down here, and then you had an immediate retracement of that, and I like it. So we're even going higher again. So this would be our new resistance turning support. I would like to see a little bit of a retest of that 38-cent level and bounce higher. Next stop would be the 40-cent level. Next stop after that, 46. So this is looking really good on XEM. And we liked it because it's got a lot of headroom, a lot of ways to go up before it's at all-time highs. And much of crypto right now is pushing all-time highs, if not breaking higher. So understand we're zoomed in pretty tight, but this is looking great. So XEM, I mean, the time to buy would have been back here on this breakout, but it's still looking like it's carrying on. So what I wanted to look at today was all the ones that are holding, not steady, but you know, they're holding up compared to Bitcoin taking a dive. What that means to me is there's some strength shown in there. So obviously Binance Coin, I'm not even going to look at Binance Coin because I know it's way too far gone. So anything that held up pretty decent, I want to do Litecoin, TCUSD, Coinbase. Last night we were looking at LTC, and we were looking at this big old bowl right here, and this is on the 4 hour, so it's got some weight to it. And we were saying potential another mini cup and handle again, and we'll get a little channel out of here. And I imagine it'll be something like this, maybe not even. We're going to, well, what we're seeing right now is we got all these EMAs lined up perfectly. We're seeing it hit this 20-day EMA and bouncing immediately off that. So we got some good support at this level here at 174.81. So this was our previous resistance and now it became support. Love to see it. Let's zoom in on the 30. Straighten this out. And we're just gonna see if this channel holds any value at any point here. I'm just drawing it as a little preemptive. I understand that, but whatever. So what we want to see is we want to see it either carry on sideways or do a little retest of this 1.7. You know, it already has done a little retest of this 174 level. So a breakout above here would be a very good sign. So if we're breaking above 181, our next step is 192. And from there, we can push all-time highs. I would say, I don't know what all-time high is on Litecoin. Let me take a look. Let's go to the daily and take a look ski. Oh, so there's some room to go still. There is some room to go. So high of 420. Someone call Elon. So there's some headroom on this. Got a ways to go. We got the nice bowl that we like. So it's turning out really well for this coin. I got a lot of lines here. And I would expect to break above here. So this is one to watch because it did hold on pretty well while Bitcoin went down. So it remained about neutral, which is pretty good. Stellar XLM is the next one I want to look at. XLM USD. This one, did we have to look at Polonius gun? No, we didn't. So you can see we've been marking this one up for a little bit now because we took a trade on this one and I think we took it back one of these levels, either this one or this one, I can't remember. And we were really liking the way it was looking. So we had the divergence here. We had a pretty strong trend line. You had this previous resistance became strong support. A couple touches on there actually. So now we got this new resistance, new local resistance becoming new support. And you can see once it came to this EMA, it just bounced right above there. Dog's going crazy in the background. And now it's holding. So now this previous resistance is becoming support at this level. And you can see we're pushing even higher. So we're going to zoom in even more on this one. Because like I said, I'm watching it tight. This is one that I did actually trade on. So this previous resistance, you can see he had a couple touches, 1, 2, 3, is now becoming support again, which is great to see. You had an EMA crossover on the 30-minute. So we're in the right direction. You can see this is crossed over a couple times on that 30-minute chart. So nothing really big to worry about. Crosses and immediately crosses back. I'd be more concerned if we saw it cross the 200-day EMA. But even then, it's done that a couple times. So we're looking really good on XLM. Really liking that. Let's zoom out. I want to draw a little bit of a trend line. I know there's not much weight to this considering how vertical it's going, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good touches on this one really low break below it. Check CoinDesk. Twitter news just came out on Doge. Dogecoin devs are working on the network. Please update everyone. All right, let's take a look. CoinDesk. Twitter. All right, so we got a couple things that immediately pop up. I'll just pull this over so we can see this. We got Amazon preparing to launch a digital currency project in Mexico. Of course they are. Everyone's going to be launching their own digital currency, or everyone's going to be buying digital currency like Tesla just did. So what do we got here? Dogecoin surging price has resurrected its technical development. Wow. So, wow, after such price rise, Dogecoin developers have much coding to do. Surprise, it was a meme coin and they pretty much abandoned it. So now they are resurrecting. I don't know what their plans are. People say it's a joke coin, but we're very careful to take care of the code. So even though it's a joke coin, if you look at the currency of something like Venezuela, this is way better than that. You know, so to say it's a joke coin means nothing when it's better than real countries, legitimate countries' currency. So what do they mean joke coin? Old dog, new tricks. So I'm just kind of scamming this. Is there anything important that I should bring up? Final season reality, or just the fact that they are working on this again, which is it's good news. You know, it's always good to see support for previous projects. Just let me know if there's anything important. We're gonna continue to look at the TA, and what I liked about this one is I think we had a lot of room to the upside on this as well. It did hold up today as Bitcoin kind of went sideways, which is to be expected. I think I need to pull up the STR USD. So STR and XLM are the same coin. STR is just the Poloniex name. And you can see we got some important levels to this all-time high of 95 cents. So that's great. Great stuff. Let's see what we had here, because we had a couple measured moves, it looks like. So we did a little bit of a measured move from this low to a high, and that was going to put us at 58 cents, and we're on the right path for that right now. It's really good, looking really good. And I like the fact that it just held on. We even gained as Bitcoin went down. Bitcoin went down 4%, Stellar still went up 4%. So that's great. Now we're gonna look at the fan favorite, Doge, who recently has development. And I'm pulling up the Poloniex chart because that's probably got the most history. You know what? Didn't matter. I remember now. Dogecoin was in all-time high territory, so we drew it on the Binance. And there was a reason for that, and I'll share that right now. Let me just zoom on in. So the reason we pulled up the Binance chart is because the old history, usually I'm going to Poloniex charts because they got the most history, but the Binance chart doesn't matter because we're in all-time high category, so I don't need to look at any of the history because none of it pertains. And the Binance chart had this high pump on January 28th, and none of the other charts had that. So what that tells me is there was a lot of price pushes that happened in Binance, probably a lot of volume, and I would imagine a lot of that's from the US customers. And we got lines drawn all over here. So we were playing in important levels, and if you remember back on February 7th, we were looking at this saying, oh, is this a head and shoulders, because it was breaking down and not looking great. And then the next day the news of Bitcoin came out, and what do you know? Elon to the rescue, I guess. We had a nice little bull, but we kind of fell flat after that. So not looking great, but to be honest, we pushed so high that this is to be expected. So you need a little bit of sideways action before you can push higher. So if you take a look at this and compare it to this, I would say it's almost a fractal of itself, and it looks pretty similar pattern, right? So what I would imagine is we're going to see a little bit more sideways action before we start going higher. And I do think this one's going higher just on hype alone. So we're sitting at that 200 EMA, which is holding pretty strong right now. You had a couple touches of it, but it has held pretty strong above that. Where are we at for our resistance lines? Touch here, and we're below it actually, so that's not a great indicator. What do we got over here? Yeah, so there's not a lot of support I can see immediately. We just got this trend line that's holding. So what I would like to see is I'd like to see this move above the EMA, move above this 7 cent level, and play there, get some momentum, you know, go sideways as long as you need to. I would say a little bit of a back test, make sure that 7.3 cents level holds, because we fell below it now and staged far higher highs. What we need to do is we need to get above this 7.8 level, 7.8, and we need to be having strength here before we can go up to 8 cents again. I do think it's possible. I know Doge is at an all-time high, so it's not a great entry for anything, but it's possible it could continue higher. It's just looking a little shady right now. So like I said, we want to be above this level, and we want to make sure that we retest it enough that we feel comfortable that this is the new low and that we're not going back below this. So you can see we broke down too many times, and what this is telling me right here is this is the new low of 6.8 cents, which is fine, but to get up to the next level we're gonna have to get a little momentum. What do we got on the MAC and the RSI? Nothing really appearing to me. Oscillator is higher, low. Right, slower, low. No, nothing shooting out to me. So if you guys got callouts, you want me to look at any charts, let me know. Put it in the chat. I'll take a look at it. I did include a link to the Discord in the chat, so feel free to click on that, join up on the Discord. Love to have you over there. We're going to take a look and see who else has done well today, as Bitcoin took a little bit of a dive today. Not much of a dive, but enough. Already looked at XEM. This one's looking great. Let's look at Tron. I actually considered putting a trade on Tron last night, but I didn't because, was it this? No, I think that's too new. There was some reason we didn't trade it yesterday, and I kind of regret it. All right, so we were definitely looking at this trend line yesterday, and I think it was, I don't remember exactly. I didn't really trust it, so I didn't put the trade on. But this was one that we liked because, again, just like XEM, you had quite a bit of room to the top. So we got all-time high. I don't even know if this is a real price here. Look at where we got these wicks. 35 cents. That's probably not real. 35, 22, 10. And we're sitting at about 4 cents right now. So plenty of room to the upside if we can get above these levels. We're just kind of stuck right now. Well, we were until today. So today we finally broke above this 4.4 cents level. Actually, we broke above the, we're right there at about 4.5 level. And you can see we came up to it, did a little retest, fell below it, but we also bounced off that EMA, which is a good indicator. Closed that candle on the 4 hour as a green candle, which is great. It's looking really good. And what I want to do is let me zoom back out and see where this one is a touch. So we had an important level here. Let's see if we can get it here. And then important level here, important level here. So this was resistance a couple times, and it is now becoming support. So that's good to see for Tron, and we're going to take a closer look at this. Let's do the 1 hour first, and then we'll go to the 30-minute and just take a look. So look at that. This looks great. So you had a good break above these levels, right? And a good back test of this. So this is feeling pretty comfortable that we're pretty strong with that 4.4 level. At a bare minimum, what is this high? I'm gonna move that up. That is 4.18 cents. And we feel pretty confident that we're not going below that. So Tron is looking great, even though Bitcoin pulled back. So that makes it look even stronger to me. What do I think about Cardano? Well, Peter, let's take a look here. ADA, USD. Yeah, I like that. You just call them out, take a look at them. Otherwise, I end up looking at the same ones that I already own or already looked at yesterday. Let's take a wider approach first. That's not anything that you can really trade. The straight line up is looking great if you have it. If you don't, it's not really a good entry. Not anything that's actionable. It would have been actionable down here in these breakout levels. We're pushing for $1.3. So what are we at right now? So we got a pretty damn straight up line. And I really like this formation right here. If you could have caught it back here at this 38, 39 cent level, that would have been absolutely great. And we're going to zoom back out so we can take a look at this. Now look at this level. So you had a good pop, right? Above these all right here. That previous resistance support. You even had a little bit of a back test. So you couldn't ask for anything better. And then it just sprung right out of there. And again, a little sideways action, played along a trend line very, very well right there. And then again, we got the previous resistance at 38 cents, it looks like. Touched it twice. On the third time, it was just not having it and broke higher. And then it even back tested the 42 cent level, which is a great little symbol for you that, hey man, we're gonna retest this little resistance and see if we can get higher. And it sure did. So this is it's a great looking chart if you own it. If you don't own it, probably makes you a little salty. Let's see if there's any entries that are appearing right now. So I'm a little, like I was saying, I'm a little skeptical about buying anything that's straight up line, because how do you justify doing that? You know, anytime you buy anything at all-time highs, I understand this is an all-time high, but a recent all-time high, it's hard to justify. That's where you get burned, you know, because it could quickly go down. But if you are owning it, you had I'd like to see this candle close green and then it'd push higher probably. So what I'm seeing right here is this is some good previous resistance, right? And I don't think it's, yeah, so this is recent resistance. And if we close green here, stay above this level, it's now support. So 87, let's give you an exact number here, 8729. This is not Doge. I'll look at that again after that for you. This is Cardano, ADA versus USD. So 87, this level holds right now. We close in 11 minutes green. Be a decent entry, but like I was saying before, this is a pretty straight up chart. So you got to be really careful with things like that. After that, your next resistance is 89 cents. Could see a pop above there, a little bit of a retest. If you see that, the next level is $1.31. After that, you're in all-time high category and no TA will help you. You're on your own. And you're looking for price discovery, seeing when people sell. So this could be a decent entry. If this candle closes green, we'll take a look back. If you're here in 10 minutes, Peter, remind me to look back at this ADA, okay? And we'll take a look at it. I'm gonna pull up Doge for Gavin here, and we'll just go over what we just went over with Doge real briefly here. So we don't need to look at Poloniex. I didn't like Doge too much. It looked like it was kind of breaking down, but I did say that I think it's going to continue higher. I just think it needs a little bit of time to consolidate before it pushes higher. So I was saying that these patterns look similar here. This one looks similar to that one. And if you notice, let me get it right here. I know I got a lot of lines here. You had a lot of sideways action before you actually started higher. And you had a nice bowl shape. So I think that's what we need to go higher on these, because let's face it, this has just had a astronomical run, you know? So you can't expect it to just continue straight up. It needs to have some sideways action first. So if it is going to continue, we need to monitor this 7.3 level. It needs to stay above here. We need it to close above here, retest, and push higher. I would like to see a nice bull action to this 8.2 level and then beyond. We did have a measured move that we were looking at, because when you're at all-time highs, it's hard to really do TA. So measured move, high to low, and then we copied that over, which would bring us to 15 cents. So if we can get above this level at about 9 cents, just under 9 cents, and we can hold that as new support, we could potentially make a move to 15. These were fractals, or not fractals, Fibonacci levels, 10 cents and 12 cents, psychological levels as well. So Doge looking like it just needs a little break. The Doge is tired, man. Give the Doge a bone. Let's go back to Tron. No, we did Tron. We finished that. We were looking at this green candle closing right below it. We wanted to see some more retests and breaking higher. So if you got any other ones you want me to take a look at, call them out in the chat. I'll take a look. But otherwise, we're looking at ones that have held up today compared to Bitcoin going down about 4%. So not a big pullback in Bitcoin, but significant to the point where it really shows the strength of some of the other ones. So I want to look at Tezos, XTZ, USD. And I think pretty much on everything on Coinbase has just absolutely skyrocketed. I could be wrong. I think BAT was one of the ones, and this was one of the other ones. So we're pushing all-time high category or territory on this chart. Let's see if we can get one with a little more history. What do we think has the most history? Probably Hit BTC. And I don't like Hit BTC. It's probably one of the worst exchanges. I've seen them trade futures of coins before they're even out. So I don't trust any of their price. But they do have the most history, so we'll go with it, because some of these levels might hold some weight to them, you know. Someone that might have had it might sell it at the same level. So we drew a couple lines, important lines. I'm just drawing the highs, the lows, just so we can see where some of the support and where some of the resistance is at. And I see all-time high $12 that we had, unless you want to count that first candle, but that's just a wick. And we're currently at about $3. So now we're going to zoom in and take a 12-hour look at it first. And ooh, look at this wick down. Almost all the way to the low here. Wow. That is quite the wick. When was this? January 8th of this year. All right. So what are we doing here? We got some lows here that correspond 1, 2 touches, and maybe a third. And this is the previous high. So previous resistance was support, broke through, became support again, and now is getting retested. So this 178 level is very important to this coin right here. You can see you have multiple touches on here. So we need to stay above that. That's a given on Tezos. But we're above there right now. It's not looking fantastic. It's very choppy. Like these wicks are very choppy. So it seems like people are buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling in large quantities. It seems like the EMAs are lined up. We got good lineup on that. Let's pull up 4 hours, see what we can see. Look at that wick. I don't like that. Someone must have sold a bunch. Now that we're got a little history here, let's just pull up the USD on Coinbase because I bet that wick isn't there. It is there, but it's not as strong. Okay. Seeing a nice little bowl shape right here with the breakout. And that's probably what we're pumping on. And actually, if you look back, we got a nice little bowl shape here too. So I like these rounded bowl shapes. You know, it might not be a cup and handle. It might be a cup and handle. But what it tells me is that it's coming back up to these levels. And it's doing a nice little retest of these highs at $4.48. Let's put a little horizontal line there. And then we got another little bowl shape forming right here. I'm liking it. I'm liking what we're seeing on Tezos. EMAs are lined up and it's riding this 20 EMA. It is a good look. So let's go even closer here and take a 30-minute just for fun. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Delete that. And we're gonna draw this previous resistance, now becoming support potentially. This would have been a great position to enter, just for a little bit of a trade with a pretty tight margin. Could have put this as your stop loss, could have put this as your, I mean, you would have entered on this candle here. So that could have been a good entry. I'm gonna expect it to pull back to this 3.89 level before staging higher because we need to retest this previous resistance to make sure that it's resistant. So we need that resistance to become support, and the only way for that to become support is you got to retest it. So retest of a 3.8 level and then a stage higher. This is looking pretty good. We're in breakout territory right now, not all-time high. And those are the ones we're looking for, is we're looking for things that are not all-time high so you can do a little something with them, you know. Some of the other ones are, it's just too far gone. Like how do you even do TA on something that's higher than it's ever been? Anything else you guys want me to look at? Otherwise, I'm going to continue. We're looking for things that did well today against Bitcoin going down. I understand Theta didn't. Yeah, we could take a look at Doge again. I got that one open right now. I left it open on purpose just because I had a feeling we were going to get quite a few requests on it. We went over it twice here. So what we were saying is that we need a little bit of time for this to consolidate and go sideways. So we're going to see a little bit more sideways action, I think, and it's going to start bowling up. And I do think eventually it will go up. I think what we're looking at right here is a similar pattern to right here, where you have multiple touches on the trend line, and then you can see it just kind of inches up a little bit, and then once it hits this all-time high or previous all-time high, then it starts to break up. I think Doge has a lot of hype behind it, so I think we might continue. I think it'll just be a little bit longer of a time frame. This has been a really big pump, so you do need a little bit of time to just reconsolidate, make sure everything's good, test support. So what we want to see is we want to see this 7.3 level hold. So we want to get above this 7.3 cent price level, retest it, and then shoot higher. So I want to see that hold, and I want to see this trend line hold. I understand it's not a very strong trend line because we only got 2 touches on here, but we got a wick there. It's got some bearing or some weight to it, you know. So 7.3 is what we're looking for. We need to go above there. We need to retest it and shoot up. Why is Binance frozen? I'm not sure, to be honest. Do you on Binance USA? You on Binance in general? Their candles are still moving. We got 20 seconds left on this one. So yeah, I just think we need a little bit more sideways action before we start rounding up, and I think it will happen. Just a matter of time. Okay. Don't move. We're zoomed in here. We're in the 30-minute. So it's not moving too much. You're not going to see too much action on the 30-minute. All right, so we're going to go to theta now. And all the coins don't move. Not sure what you mean. Maybe Binance is having issues. I'm not sure. It looks like their charts are still active, so I'm seeing things fluctuate. So, I mean, this is 2.84. It was just higher. So, theta, obviously, I want to check because I'm a bag holder for a while. I've been preaching about theta for a long time. And this previous resistance had good touches, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and broke above here. And when it came back to retest there, it didn't hold, but it has broke out since then. And now we're seeing a similar pattern on this level at 276. All right, so some people are having issues with Binance. I'm gonna pull up Binance Twitter and see if there's anything going on. Yeah, they don't have any information, so maybe you guys are just experiencing it right away. I'm not sure. Fundua Seifu. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but if you're a crypto OG, you probably know what that's from. The Bizanachi page. Check him out on YouTube. He makes funny crypto videos. All right, so what we're looking at with theta is this. Now resistance is potentially becoming support. We're doing a little bit of playing right here, and we got a little bit of a trend line growing. So I like this. We were looking at this trend line and it kind of broke down, and we had an EMA cross, which, yeah, it's not a great sign, but it almost looks like they're about to cross again. So what are you gonna do? You know, this is one of those coins that you're at all-time high territory, so you're kind of just watching to see what happens. Could break down, you could stay flat. To be honest, I think it's early in the market cycle enough to where this coin's going to continue higher. But I think we might need to break down a little bit. So I was calling yesterday that we might need to break down to this previous resistance and retest it. But to be honest, we might need to even break down farther to this 2-3 level, do a little bounce, and then shoot higher. So I think overall we're going to continue higher on this, but it might just take some time, again, like Dogecoin. So what I want to do for tomorrow is I want to draw a trend line down. So I know we got these green trend lines. I'm going to leave those on there for now. But I just want to draw this for tomorrow so we can see if it starts to have any weight. So what I would expect if it has weight is maybe we'd hit this 200-day EMA, bounce back up, maybe even down again to this 2.5 level, and then I'd like to see a break above that and then retest that trend line and then shoot higher. If we see that, that'd be a great indicator that we could potentially push to all-time highs again. What are my opinions on cannabis stock? To be honest, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tip here. I don't have it pulled up, but I know I never got into cannabis stocks because I was heavily into crypto at the time. But there is a lot of stocks that are about to be mainstream for the mushroom stocks, basically. So let me see if I can find that real quick. I got information from someone about it today or yesterday or something. So a couple states have legalized magic mushrooms. What do you call those? I call them magic mushrooms. Psilocybin, you know, the trippy mushrooms. So let me pull this up. It's in the R penny stocks subreddit. MindMed. So we'll take a look at a couple of these ones. So the thing is people are thinking, oh, maybe this will be like the cannabis stocks were, and there will be a nice run up on these as these become legal. Numis Wellness, yes. So I don't know anything about these, but I do know they're lower price compared to a lot of other stocks. And what do we got here? Why are those EMAs all the way up there? What the hell's going on with this? Okay, so this must be so new that there is no history. What is this? I'm gonna have to reset this chart. Hold on. Reset price scale. Okay, so it opened at 440, and this was in 2012. This chart's really confusing to me. I don't know what I'm looking at. But what I did want to say about these is that we might see some action on some cyber stocks. I can take a look at the ones you called out, but I don't have any information on any of these. What the hell? So something's going on with Binance, eh? Okay. So when do we have a pump? December 20th. So I would imagine we're starting to see a little bit of people getting on the bandwagon here. So you had previous resistance become support. Now we're not even close to that level. So what I would expect is we're going to do a retest of this level and then a retest of this level at 187 or 184. And this is a mushroom stock, LKYSF. And there's tons of these that are coming out now. Let's look at Tilray Inc., I guess. Woo! 3-hour chart. Let's do a 2-hour. Okay, so this must be 2018, yeah. So the reason I wasn't into any of the cannabis stocks is because in this time frame I was heavy into crypto, and I didn't even have time to look at it. And you know, this is where a lot of the people that weren't into crypto were trading. So again, the market cycles are dictating that this is pumping right now. Your EMA is crossed over on the 12-hour. This is a great sign. Let's do a 4-hour here, and let's try to make this a little bit more legible because this chart is just so tight. What I do want to show is this local all-time high, or local high, I wouldn't even call it all-time high, is now decent support. So you can see we pumped up there, dropped back, retested these lows, and then we're playing in this level. And then it finally broke above there, retested it, and it shot above there, and now we're on a nice path. So this is looking pretty damn good. For something I know nothing about. Oh, we're even higher. Yeah, so you can't even enter this. This is a pretty bad entry when you see something straight up. And you're getting so many gaps. I would say support here. We're looking at a 30-minute here. This is a very good candle right here. Nice little cup forming on there. If we could get a break above there, we're gonna break out territory. It's looking pretty good, man. Looking pretty good. Let's do one more of those SNDL, Sundial Growers, and it's looking similar too. So I know nothing about the fundamentals of these. Don't know much about the cannabis stocks. Wow, look at the tankage on this. 2019. And let's draw some important highs on this. Two, and a nice low, and another nice low, and that's not even the all-time low. So we're doing some important levels. And I want to do this one as well. We'll draw enough lines on there so we can move them out. Yeah, so it seems to be that the cannabis stocks are the same market cycle as cryptos. And when cryptos are pumping, a lot of people are moving into the cannabis stocks as well. I don't know if there's any correlation between that. Maybe it's just the timing of it. But yeah, they are doing well, and they are pumping right now. Like this looks like a crypto chart. It really does. Previous high or previous resistance became support, very strong support, and look at that candle out of there. You skipped over this level completely on the 12-hour chart. Let's see, 2-hour chart. you literally have a gap on there. That's how intense that's pumping. Great little indicator here that you were gonna go higher. And let's look at a final look on the 30-minute. Undo that. And this looks great too. So these all kind of look like they're gonna continue higher. And you might be in breakout territory of this. I understand these are probably closed right now because these are real charts. A push 2 cents higher, you're in breakout territory. This is a great candle right here. You can see it's tested this resistance here, made it become support, and now it's tested it again, and then you close this candle green, and that's a pretty good sized candle. So this would be your buying opportunity, and this is your breakout, and a breakout above here is pretty imminent. Can't hear me? Have I been talking this whole time and y'all can't hear me? Okay, I'll turn down the music. Audio track is unavailable. So it doesn't look like the music's even playing for me. You know what? Maybe you're not live. Because I haven't had the music going for a long time, I don't think. I don't know. We'll see. If anyone else is in the chat. That's alright. That's alright, man. Hey, man, I've done that to people too, and they freaked out about it, and they're like, I realize, and it's like, uh-oh. My bad. No big deal. So yeah, these cannabis ones are looking good. I'm also gonna start looking into the mushroom stocks too, because I think if people are taking money and profits off cryptos and mushroom stocks, those are gonna be the next hype. It's already getting hyped up in the Reddits. So if that's gonna happen, man, I'd like to be there before that hype happens. Let's continue looking at ones that have done well today while Bitcoin kind of pulled back. Not a big pullback, but enough to where it's showing strength in some of the other ones. So let's do a NEO USD. NEO's something I kind of fell out with. You know, I'm not big on China stuff, and this is China's Ethereum. So anything China just makes me really cautious. Really cautious. But this is looking great. This chart is just, this is actually really great. Wow. And you got a lot of room to the head, or ahead here. Wow. Okay, so this one's looking absolutely great right now. And what do we got here? We got this previous resistance being tested. Man, this one's looking great. Being tested, breaks down, and finally breaks above here. And let's see if we get into a 1 hour and a 30-minute, how many times this has tested this resistance. Look at it just play here. This is great. So you're seeing this previous resistance now become support. You got the EMA cross. It's riding on that 20 EMA. It's just absolutely perfect. I mean, what could you ask for with this? Neo is looking great. Buy-in opportunity would have been Gil, if you're here, take a look at this buy-in opportunity. I'm gonna post this in the Discord. Hey, if you're here, make sure you join up on the Discord, like or subscribe to this video, to the channel. We do a lot of TA, a lot of crypto talk over in the Discord, so I'll post another link in the chat right here so you guys can join up. But Gil, take a look at that one. You are going to enjoy that chart. So what I'm seeing here is this previous resistance became support, closed out on the 1 hour with this nice green candle. Closed below the EMA, but that's all right. And now we're going to retest this high, this local high of $35. So I like the chart, like the headroom, you know, there's a lot of room to the upside potentially. But the only thing I don't like is how pricey it is. $35 is a lot. You just can't buy as many, you know. You're talking about something with pennies, you buy plenty of them. That's like a multiplier. This, you can't buy as many, but this chart just looks great. Really like it, Neo. Break above 35 with a retest, a little back trace would be absolutely great. And I could almost guarantee we'd go higher. If we did retest 35 with strength, broke up, next stop would be 48, next stop would be 84, next stop would be 146. Obviously you'd have some playing around in the middle there, but that is just great. Do a little calculator. 146 divided by 35, 4 times, so you could potentially see a 4x before you hit all-time highs. It's great either way you look at it. If you got any you want me to take a look at, let me know in the chat. Take a look at them. But basically what we're doing is we're looking at any that have shown strength today compared to Bitcoin going down about 4%. Not very strong. I also don't want to take a look at things like Decred that's up over 40% over the past 7 days. Those, I'm gonna say that and then I'm gonna look at ETC. So so maybe I'm just biased against Decred. So how did I learn to read charts and make predictions? Cat to duck. So I've been looking at charts for a very long time. Got into it heavily in 2016, 2017, and I kind of stopped doing everything I was doing. So I was gaming on a daily basis, you know, playing video games with the friends and all that, and I just kind of fell off. And I fell into this whole world where this became my game. Just looking at charts and making money was the game, you know. So kind of self-taught. Some of it might be taken from here, taken from there. But there's a lot of great resources on YouTube. So what I recommend you do is you just take it piece by piece. You start looking at, okay, what is bullish divergence? You look that up. What is EMAs? What do they all mean? You know, the most important thing I do is I look at the history, because if you, let's just do this for instance. I'm looking back here. This is December 24th, 2018. I'm going to draw a horizontal line at the peak right here. Then I'm going to draw one at the low here. And then I'm going to extrapolate this over the time and see where these line up. So you can see this is an important level here because it was resistance before, became support at this level, support again, and then it broke heavily down. Then it broke heavily up, broke heavily down, support, broke heavily up and broke down but became support. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of looking over time and seeing what is support and what is resistance, because these levels they carry out, you know. I don't know if it's because people have, it's the same people selling and buying or what the deal is, but for some reason these levels from the past will always mean something in the future. So that's why it's hard to do anything when you're looking at all-time highs, because you don't got any of this data. You're way up here, so you can't really tell anything. But with things like this, you can kind of see potential resistance levels, like this one here. I'm gonna guess we're gonna see some resistance here, or potentially it becomes support. So when we look at this, we're gonna look at this top level, and I mean, you can see right off the bat that you're playing on this level. So you broke above here and then you came back to retest it. And I'm gonna go into a 1 hour, and I guarantee we touched it a couple times. Yep. And look how perfect this is. So this is the same level from way back in 2018, and look at it stops right there. How perfect is that, you know? And then boom, you break below it, but then you retest it and it's support. So those older levels are what I really look for more than anything, you know. I feel like those are some of the most important things to understand, you know. When you get the levels like that and they mean something over here and they also mean something back in 2018, those are important. So I just extrapolate that data, bring it over here, and see where important levels are. That's basically all I'm doing here. So anyone realistically could do this. You don't need to watch a YouTube video for that, but there's a couple other things I do. Just, you know, from being in this for years. There's a couple important candles I look at. A couple important formations I look at. So I really like bowl formations. So something I'm seeing here, this is on a 1 hour chart. So this is potentially has some weight to it. If we see a nice bowl formation here, where it's going to continue higher to go to this all-time high, potential pullback and shoot higher, it'd be a great formation. Investopedia. This is a great resource for education. So they got lots of formations. Handle definition, and they'll tell you straight up what these all are. So when I see a bowl shape, this is what I look for every time. And I'm gonna pull up Bitcoin so you can see it real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to go off on a tangent. I understand. Kind of breaking the rhythm here, but take a look at this. So what do we got here? You got the nice rounded bowl. You got a nice handle down, and on this channel out, you did a retest of that channel, and then look at this big green candle. I mean, have you seen a bigger green candle? I mean, maybe right here. That is just great, and I would say this is pretty textbook definition of the cup and handle here. So this is a great resource, Investopedia. You can look at some of the important things like the pennants, the triangles, but I would say the most important thing is these previous resistances becoming support. And if you can extrapolate this from the past and they mean something over here, you know those levels mean something. So what I'm seeing is this previous level was resistance on February 9th, yesterday, and today is showing it as support. And it's even closing on green candles out of that support. So this is looking really, really good. And this is Ethereum Classic. And we're actually in breakout territory right now. If you don't include the wicks, which more often than not, I don't. All depends on what we're looking at. So Ethereum Classic looking really good. So what I would expect to see on this is break above this 11. What are we at? Bless you. $11 level, retest of it, break up to something between here, maybe a test of this 11.7, and then I want to see it break down. And I want to see it break down maybe to, okay, here, let's do it. Let's actually draw it. Forecast. Maybe a little bit of that mixed with a little bit of a downtrend, and then I want to see this thing just pop, just like a typical cup and handle. I'm seeing the bull shape, so I'm liking the bull shapes lately. We're seeing a lot of them in crypto, especially when you're chasing all-time highs. It's pretty inevitable. So Ethereum Classic looking good, especially with Bitcoin pulling back today, showing strength. Is there any coins you guys want me to look at while I'm here? Otherwise, what we're doing is we're looking at coins that show strength today as Bitcoin pulls back. Let me leave a link to the Discord for you guys. I'm actually just gonna pin this, but I will post it again. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to it if you're appreciating the content. Be great. We're doing this almost every day now, especially in this bull market, and we're just looking for ones that are not at all-time highs yet, but pumping, you know, because things are popping off. And DA. All right, we can take a look at that. Let me just do this one first. So we're looking at ZIL. And ZIL I like because, again, we got enough headroom to make it worthwhile. 23 cents is the all-time high. You could very well say 19 to 20 cents is a more reasonable high, and we're only at about 10. So this is looking really good. We had a bullish divergence on the RSI. And we were watching this yesterday as it broke above this level. Nah, that was 2 days ago. We looked at it yesterday though, as it broke up above this level on a good clean break. And now let's get out of the 12-hour. Let's go to a 1 hour here. And let's see what we got. This was that good break. Retest of that important level. The previous high became support. And you can see we're kind of breaking down here. We were breaking down below this EMA, but we're in a bull market, so even these bullish indicators don't have as much bearing, you know. Once you start seeing multiple coins break, then you start worrying. But right now we're not there yet. So our EMAs are still in line. It's a great indicator that we're continuing higher. Potential trend line here. We can potentially see a bounce off the trend line or this level at 10 cents, 10.5 cents. I don't like this retest failing, but I do like the fact that it came immediately back within the same day. So I'd like to see another retest of this 10.5 cents level before I shoot higher. There's not really a good entry on this right now. I mean, this green candle closed, but that was all the way below your EMA. So like ZIL for continuation, but it just did not give you a great entry, or at least it didn't, you know, it didn't broadcast itself very well. I'm going to, let's see, USC. I'm gonna pull up a couple here. Let's see if Peter, you still here? We were gonna look at a candle here. Very important candle. I don't remember if it was on the 1 hour or what. We were looking to see if this was gonna close green, and it did. So this would be a good entry on ADA. And I'd put my stop loss right below it at 86 cents. You don't want to get too stopped out too early, but you also don't want to lose money. And you got good upside potential. So ADA is looking great. I'm going to copy this over to the Discord here. And call out Gil, who's one of our traders here, and just see what he's got to say about these. He likes this pattern. And then we'll go check out your MDA. All right, so I'm not familiar with this, so if I'm looking at the wrong thing, let me know. But let's take a extended outlook so we can see some of these important levels. Holy green wick. What happened here? So I almost guarantee there's some sort of news. And we're looking at Binance, and I'm just gonna take a quick look at some of the other ones to see if they have the same wick, and it looks like they do. OKX doesn't, but who even knows what OKX is? MDA US. So is this a correct one? This is what you wanted me to look at? All-time low hit right here. And I mean, if you're still here, Cat the Duck, look at where this wick ended up. They ended up right in the same spot. So I mean, you can see that some of these previous levels mean something. They have some significance to them. So even just drawing out these horizontal lines with Alt H does enough. You know, you can see where these are going, where potentially that's gonna pause, where it's gonna. This one had multiple touches here, so this is an important level. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, almost 5 even. This is an important level at $1.40. 2 touches here. This will be an important level across there. But I really want to get into where we are right now, so I'm just drawing a lot of lines. 2, 3, 4 touches, 5 touches on this line here. And you can see there's just a lot of playing in this. All right, let's see what we're looking at. And I also want to see if there was any news on this or something. So we're starting to see a nice rounded bottom on this before this big candle. And this was today. Did it really pump up to $3.70 and then come crashing immediately back down? I'm gonna look into this one right now. MDA, which is Moda loyalty points. Where can you buy Dogecoin in cash? So, a couple places. I think it's on Robinhood. I know it's on Binance. And let me check Coinbase right now. Some of these exchanges, you got to do verifications on it, and some of those verifications take a little bit of time. So, just be patient with it. Coinbase doesn't have Dogecoin on it? Interesting. Yeah, so I think Robinhood has it. So we're looking at Moda loyalty points, and I just want to see what this is all about. English, please. This is in Portuguese, so seed project. Oh, maybe they need seed funding. Oh, they do need seeds. So one of the things I'm liking about, can I buy it without ID verification? I'm not sure. I'm not on Robinhood. I would imagine they need you to rob it or to ID yourself there. I'm pretty sure that's just KYC. So if you're a US customer, I don't think there's a lot of getting around any of that right now. But it also depends on your situation, Mike Jones. So if you have Bitcoin, you can pretty much trade it to an exchange like KuCoin or something, and you can pretty much get whatever you want. But here, let me show you how to do just what I'm talking about. So you can go on CoinMarketCap, type in Dogecoin, click on that, and you can go market, and it'll show you all the exchanges that have active listings on Dogecoin. So you can see it's on Binance, HitBTC, MXC, Binance US. So that would be my go-to. Bittrex, Kraken. So it's on a lot of exchanges. Poloniex, I don't think they do US customers anymore. So it's on a lot of exchanges. But yeah, that's how you can find out anything or what exchange anything's on. You just look it up on CoinMarketCap, go to the markets tab, and it'll tell you what's selling. So what I wanted to see is if there was any social information on this. I'm not seeing anything. So if there's something that broke on a story on this coin that pumped it 3, almost 4 times today and then immediately brought it back down, I don't know what it was. It sounds like a Reddit job to me, but what I am liking about this is we had a nice EMA cross, nice rounded top, and it's coming out of there pretty strong. So even though we had that pump and dump, that candle still closed green. And the following candle looks like it's about to close green. So let's go into a closer outlook. I'm not going to go too in depth with this because this is something else. Previous resistance on a very close scale has now become support, and even this big candle still respected that support. So that is good to see. And look at how tight it's riding with that EMA. So it's a really good sign. And even this previous resistance is now support. So this would be a great indicator, this little green candle, to buy. And you got I would put a stop loss at 85 maybe, and look for a break above 90. Keep it tight. That would be a good entry on this one if you're planning to. And what I do like about it is now it's got some room to the top side and it's pretty low compared to it. So let's pull up Doge, see how we're doing on the Doge. So we did want to see it drop down to this trend line and retest it, but we also want to see it then break above there and retest this 7.3 cent level to make sure that this is now support. So we're sitting below it, but we also want to see it get above there and retest it. And we want this to be the new floor so that we can stage higher. We're anticipating that it's going to need time to round out, just because of how much it's pumped. So we'd like to see it round out, respect these trend lines, respect these previous highs, make them support, and then truck higher. Are Doge faucets legit? So I don't do any faucets. I would imagine some of them are legit. I personally have never done a faucet, so, but I know people that have. I know people that did Bitcoin faucets in the past and have Bitcoin off of it. So it's fake donation, by the way. I just wanted to see the little chick dancing. So I don't know anything about these Moda loyalty points, but that is a insane pump today. We were looking at Binance because someone was saying that they were having issues. 12 minutes ago, notice of temporary system maintenance. Trading on Binance futures will continue unaffected during the maintenance period. So something might be happening over on Binance, tech-wise, you know, from time to time. Server problems happen, you know, especially under stress, and I imagine they are under stress right now, with just the amount of people that are trying to trade crypto. Bitcoin looking pretty strong here, respecting these previous resistance. Looks like it's holding that as support now. This pullback we experienced today is to be expected. Nothing to worry about. Anything else you guys want me to take a look at? I don't really have many else that I wanted to look at. What we did today is we looked at a bunch of them that held strength compared to Bitcoin kind of going down. BTT was one of the last ones I wanted to look at. But if you got anything before I go, I'll take a look at it. BitTorrent. Where's Tether? I'm trying to find a decent exchange on there. I would rather have a calculation. I guess we'll do Bittrex. Does Doge still have potential to crash? Of course, everything has potential to crash. It's an all-time high category or territory, so you're looking for price discovery. If it's discovered its price already, then we might go down. So you really, if you're not in it already, you definitely don't want to be buying things at this level. You never know with things at all-time highs how time might affect them. Let's take a look at Redcoin because I actually have a little bit of a bag of that. Only on one exchange it looks like, and it's Bittrex. At least that's all I got in TradingView. And look at that. We got a nice little pump. And we got plenty of upside potential on this one. Up to 3 cents. Important levels, it looks like. And I'm not going to be too exact with these. I just want to get some. Look at this one though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. Wow, this is an important level. And I don't even know what you'd call that. 1/10 of a penny. Touched it, was resistance, fell back down. Broke above there. And now we're riding above that. So this is the daily. Let's see if we had any more breakouts and touches. Look at this. So this previous resistance level, how many times did we touch it here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bunch. That's looking pretty strong here. I like this coin. I really like it actually. And it's nice and early. Writing this one down. And we're gonna come back and look at it tomorrow too. Let's look for some information on it. See if we can find a decent entry. The problem with things like this, these candles just look like shit on the chart because you're talking about microscopic price differences, so it fluctuates immediately. But let's see. So this previous resistance is becoming support. You can see it fell below there. Tested it again. It's holding up pretty well, and now it's holding up pretty damn well. You got 3 touches on here. 2, 3. 3 decent touches. And you had the EMAs cross over. Looks like they crossed back over. It's kind of hard to tell right there. Here's what I'd like to see. Since you can't really tell anything on the candles because they look too elongated, I would like to see a break above this 1/3 of a penny and maybe touch it once and then push for this 1/4 of a penny line. If I see that, that's a pretty good indicator we're going higher. And in this market, there's a lot of things that are going higher, so I'm liking Redcoin. I know it has a lot of supply, and I don't know much about the fundamentals, but that chart does look pretty interesting to me. Let's just take a look at the supply. Circulating supply, so this is 100,000, millions, and billions. We got 28 billion circulating supply, so there's a lot of supply, which is why it's got such a low price. But as you can see, you got potential to see two cents, and we're at less than a penny right now, a fourth of a penny. Very, very interesting on Redcoin. I wrote it down. I like it. We'll see what happens with it. I do like that this previous resistance is holding as support right now, and you had 3 touches on that. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that one up, Mike. Appreciate that. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. BitTorrent, we're looking at the same thing. Just out of curiosity, let's pull up that and see what their max supply is. Ooh, millions, billions, 600. Oh, wow. Almost a trillion for circulating supply. So for this to become any high valued currency, like you're not going to see this become like $10 or $100, but if you could get it to a penny, that'd be pretty decent, especially with that supply. All right, let's see here. We're looking at the daily right now, just drawing some important previous resistance lines from the past and extrapolating them over here. I don't have any data on that one. Let's pull up 4 hour. These just get so messy with that low prices. Look at these wicks, these candles. They're just disgusting. I hate looking at things like this. It looks like a terrible sine wave, like your patient's dying here. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't like it. Rather go with RDD anyway. I like this. Like this RDD. Thanks for bringing it up. All right, I'm about to sign off. I'll do any last requests you guys got for the day. Otherwise, I'm gonna take off. I'll give you a couple minutes to get anything out. We spent the day looking at everything that held up pretty well compared to Bitcoin today as it pulled back. Not a very strong pullback, but pullback nonetheless to be expected. DG looking great. That is good to see. And we'll close off with Doge if no one has any other requests. And Bitcoin, we'll start with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin looks like it's doing well. We're still holding this resistance. Or I'm sorry, we're still holding this previous resistance that's now support. Looking good, especially if we get a couple more green candles. If we get above 45,231, do a little retest. We could shoot for 48 again. I think we got enough momentum where we could do that. Low to high. We did this earlier. It was only a 0.382 fib retracement. You'd almost like to see a little more. But Bitcoin's Bitcoin, and I think we're going to see a lot of companies buying Bitcoin just like Tesla did, because they can write off the losses and they don't have to do anything to the upside. So it's like owning a rental property for a Fortune 500 company. What's the scoop on Doge? Thanks for the question, Ghost Native. Appreciate it. What we were saying is we just need a little more sideways action. Doge is a little overstretched. That's a pretty big pump. We're in all-time high category. So what we want to see is we want to see a nice round shape appear here. I would like to see it hug along this trend line, do a couple little retests in here, and then break higher. So important levels right now is, first things first, we got to hold this trend line. At the very least, we got to stay above this 6.9 level. A couple wicks below it wouldn't be too bad, but we want to make sure that we're closing above here every time. We failed a couple times, but Let's see here. 1 touch, 2 touch. We could get a third one, but we definitely don't want to see a fourth one, because if we see it break below here and sustain below here, not a good sign. So I'd like to see it either bounce on this one or respect this semi trend line, or even pop above this 7.3 cent level, bounce up, or do a little back test and then bounce higher. I do think over time we're going to see it continue higher just out of hype alone, and Elon Musk, I'm sure, will tweet about it. But for right now, we just need a little bit of a consolidation time to, you know, recalibrate, reaccumulate, and over time I think we'll do well. So with that, guys, I'm gonna head on out for the night. I appreciate you hanging out. I got the link to the Discord in the chat, so if you want to continue the conversation, just hop on over there. We do a lot of crypto chats all day over there, a little TA, posting charts, what have you. If you hung out for a while, like the video, subscribe if you could. I'd appreciate that. That'd help out the algorithm. And that's all I got for you guys. Y'all take care. Have a good night.